Don't want to split the cost of a membership? That's fine. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law are the kind of people who walk the tightrope between charming and infuriating. They're friendly, polite, and perfectly nice at family functions. But when it comes to money, they're notoriously cheap, strategically stingy, and expert-level freeloaders. It's almost impressive, really. My husband and I share a big box store membership, the kind that gives you a second card for a household member. He had his, I had mine. Simple setup. One day we found out that his card had gone missing. Turns out, his sister had asked to borrow it, probably under the guise of something quick and one time, and then never returned it. Now, I'm all for sharing. If someone asks politely and isn't taking advantage, I have no problem helping. But these two, they cross the line from asking a favor to abusing a loophole way too often. They always find a way to be just inconvenient enough that it's more trouble to call them out than to tolerate it. After a few months, it started to bug me, so I asked for the card back. I didn't make a fuss, just said we needed it. Sister-in-law, all smiles, said, "Of course," and handed it over like it hadn't been in her wallet for 4 months. Case closed? Not quite. About 5 months later, my husband asked to use my card. I paused. Why wasn't he using his? He shrugged and said, "Oh, I lent it to my sister again." Ah, right. At that point, I knew a direct confrontation wouldn't work. These were the kind of people who always had a polite excuse ready. So instead, I decided to see how far they were willing to go without contributing. Next time I was at their house, I offered to split the cost of the membership. It wasn't even that expensive, $50 a year. I phrased it casually like, "Hey, since you guys used the card, maybe we could just split the renewal this year." Sister-in-law gave a polite chuckle and said something about not using it that much, but she'd talk to brother-in-law about it. I knew what that meant. No, plan C then. Later that week, I logged into the membership account and took a look at the purchase history. Turns out they were using it regularly, 1 to 2 times a month. That may not sound like a lot, but if you're telling someone you barely use it while going twice a month, you're just lying to avoid paying your share. So I went into the store, walked up to the customer service counter, and canceled our membership on the spot. Immediate termination, no warning, no refund, no questions. I didn't say a word to them. A few weeks later, I got the full report from another brother-in-law, the one who's got zero patience for freeloaders and finds their antics just as irritating as I do. He told me what happened, barely able to hold in his laughter. Apparently, they had loaded a cart full of groceries and bulk items, walked up to the register, and scanned the membership card. The cashier informed them the account had expired and prompted them to pay the renewal fee. They balked. Rather than pay the $50, they abandoned their cart and walked out. We've never talked about it. They never brought it up, and neither did we. But I know they know, and they know I know. The unspoken awkwardness that now hangs in the air at family get-togethers, absolutely priceless. What makes this better is that the other brother-in-law who told me the story, he gets it. He's seen the freeloading pattern for years and thought my move was brilliant. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, but it hit exactly where it hurts, the wallet. There's something so satisfying about imagining that moment, cart full of unpaid groceries, annoyed looks, and the realization that the gravy train had come to an abrupt halt, all because they didn't want to split a $50 membership. Petty? Maybe. But sometimes petty is just another word for finally enforcing boundaries.